Father Melvin, Father Praveen Martyrs, my professors, all the dignitaries that joined us for the celebration, and my professors who taught me, and some of the professors who are new, and my very beloved fellow students. What an honor it is for me to be here. Like I mentioned, I was one of you. And today I am here, which I never, ever, ever thought I would be. And to be felicitated along with the principal. All of this looks like a distant dream 27 years ago. 27 years ago, I joined St. Aloysius as first-year degree student. I did my BSc Computer Science. And this was the time only 10% girls were allowed in the class. So in a class of 90 boys, you have 10 girls. So if you were a girl back then, almost the entire college knows who are the girls in which class. So back then, this is 97, and my majors was computer science. Computer science came to India, really picked up in 95. So we were actually pioneers back then to choose that field. We heard a lot of negative sentiments based on that, especially for women. That's a male subject. That's a men's. Engineering is for men. Don't do it. Computer science is not for you, right? So I did my computer science here, and while I was doing my computer science degree, I was also very active in NCC. How many of you are in NCC? Congratulations. So I was one of you there as well and represented the state, and I won the gold medal in national rifle shooting competition back then. So the state won first for the first time. So as part of that, I bunked a lot of classes. So I got caught this morning by one of the professors riding in the elevator, and he said, she hardly came to class. And Father Prashant said, oh, why didn't you tell me then? Right? So my professor still caught me there. So what I'm trying to tell is, what a great honor it is. The way I have been shaped, this college has given me a whole lot. And back then in my degree and my master's, I had a great time. I did my master's here, passed out in 2004. So master's in computer applications. And throughout, Father Prashant really helped me with a lot of support with some of the challenges that we came across. Today I'm going to share with you what are some of the things that help me in my journey to be where I am today, and to share the learnings, as well as what are some of the things that you could relate and practice so that you could be successful in your future and be career prepared. While I was doing my master's, around the third semester, you can do a project. I was told, dream up your project. But I didn't want to dream up my project. And I wanted to do a live project. So with my mother's help, I got a meeting with the superintendent of police. And I requested if I could computerize the crime department. So I started building a crime database management system for the police, superintendent of police office here in Mangalore. I want you to understand that was a foundational piece, because I started to do something on my own, a software. I never knew how to build a software. I only knew how to code programs. But that was a challenge I was taking on. As part of that, I was also trying to meet various personnel in the department to understand how it works, and then train myself to mold myself to build a software. As I was doing this, I also reached out to one of the US-based companies here in Mangalore. I was still in my second or third SEM back then and asked them for a job. And the owner hesitated a lot. And then I told him, I will work for free. All I need is a job. And he asked me why. And I said, so that I can have experience of real software company. These are the two most important things that helped me build a great foundation to my future career. As I was in my third semester, every day I would come to school and I bunked the last period. I hope all my professors didn't hear that. I bunked the school because I had to go back and report to work, because I wanted to have a full-time experience, which means I needed to work for 8 hours every day. So the only way I could do that is bunk my last period. But I was very attentive in school, in class, and then did that 8 hours of job in the evening, took the last bus to home around 10:45, 11 o'clock, came back home, really ate something real quick, and then until 4 a.m. built my software. This was every day for 2 years. And now by the fifth SEM, sixth semester is when you apply for your project work, internship in a company. By fifth SEM, I now look good on my paper, because compared to my peers, I now have distinction, education, good qualification. I have real work experience, working full-time for a US-based company, and I've built my own software, which is live for a public sector, well-respected organization. Right? That is what helped me get into IBM. I got a project in IBM based on those credentials. Getting an interview from IBM when you don't know anybody. I am just one of you. I didn't know anybody. Even to get that interview, you need to show that compelling performance, compelling features as to why you and why they need you. I started with this journey because Father Praveen asked me to share what led you there. And I think these are the foundational pieces that let me cement my pieces. So when I got into IBM, I was tested for 10 days if I really worth the metal. But after that, I was very fortunate to work for the technical architect of IBM. And together, we built a bot. This is back in 2003. Nobody knew what a bot was back then. And this won the Best Technical Innovation Award in IBM. That was, seen by the leadership of Oracle, and I got an interview. So at Oracle, I led the global product development of Oracle Database Management System, which in turn helped e-commerce happen. Can I get some water, if you don't mind? And then that success led me to be recruited by SAP. At SAP, I led the global product development for 32 countries and designed an innovative product along with my team, which generated billions in annual revenue. So, students, what I'm trying to say is one thing leads to another. So I want to ask you where you are today. What is my goal? Where do I want to be? What kind of career do I want to choose? You may be in management, you may be in computer science, you may be in arts, you may be in entrepreneurship. Doesn't matter. The process is the same. What do you want to be? What career path do you want to take? Choose that. If you don't have a goal, I ask you tonight when you go, block 2 hours, stay by yourself, close the door, whatever it is. Ask yourself, what is my career goal? What do I want to be? If you want to be a software engineer, okay, that's your goal. But just don't put software engineer as your goal. What do you actually want to do as a software engineer? Where do you want to work? What do you want to achieve? What level do you want to get to? Only then can you work backwards and build a plan. So I do strongly, strongly request you all, look at what your career path you want to be on. If you want to build a career path, have a goal, have a vision, and then work backwards in terms of qualification, in terms of your work experience, in terms of your accolades or certification. All of this is required for you to stand out. We are a nation of 1.4 billion. How are you going to stand out? Not everybody is going to get a lucrative job. We do not have so many jobs. So if you have to stand out, you have to ask yourself, am I the best to be recruited for that job? Ask yourself, if I have everything, the qualifications, the knowledge, the skills, as well as the credentials to stand out. Anything that you can do to stand out is when you will get ahead. Being one among the crowd is never going to help you. Gumpinalli Govinda is really Gumpinalli Govinda. You're not going to stand. So stand out and understand, where do I want to go? What do I need to do? How do I get there? And then look beyond your job. Look at your career. Career and job is not the same. A job is maybe your first job, second job, third job. A career is, how do I make a life of career, a life of employability? And it can be self-employed, it can be entrepreneurship, or you work for somebody else. But have a plan to get there. And then have a plan to have a life that supports that career vision. A lot of the times, we have a support system around us that we don't take good benefit of. I'm also going to share some of the other learnings that I had. As I moved to US, one of the things that I wanted to do is I didn't want to just work my normal career. I wanted to solve the problems which are big ticket problems. So I started consulting for Fortune 500 companies. I started banding with the C-suite themselves to understand what is their big problems, how do we solve it? And then come up with a plan and a strategic plan and a strategic way to solve it. So every time and everywhere you go, you got to be a problem solver. Have a plan. Understand what a customer wants, or understand what your employer wants, and try to bridge that gap and do a plan to problem solve that. So all of this takes continuous learning and adaptability. The world, the rate at which the world is moving right now in terms of technology innovation, what is today is not going to be what is going to be in 6 months. So you have to continuously learn and adapt. And then also ask yourself, am I going in the right direction? How do I then have to steer? If something changes, I have to adapt. I have to learn, I have to upskill myself, and I have to grind it every day. Dear students, again, when I told you, it is those few years of that grinding while I was in college here, while I was in master's here, and making the most use of it is what helped me propel and have a good foundation. I want you to start doing your plan. What is it that you're going to do? How many of you are already doing a job? It can be any kind of job, whether paid, unpaid, small, big, full-time, part-time. How many of you are doing a job? One, please stand up, sir. Yes, please stand up. Whoever it is doing, if you don't mind standing up, please stand up. Kudos to you. And kudos to you, because let's give a big applause to these people, because they have gone out of comfort zone and they are doing something that is already a career path ready. Yes, ma'am, please. Thank you. What we need is more people understanding the value of preparation, as you are doing your studies. Look at where you can do a project work. Current generation, you have so many opportunities. It is not just that you have to go to a company. There's so many other opportunities, mom and shop companies, computer science students. There's so many mom and shops, normal small companies here. Build a website. It is so low code, no code. It is not very difficult these days to, provide services, whether it is, doing a business analysis, whether it is doing a website or doing an analytics, doing an AI project. Everything is, easily available and Googleable, right? So start doing something on the side along with your studies. Have a project-based, group. Work along your side. And then another thing that I also request the management to do is industry partnership. If we can, partner with the industries and even mentorship. I am currently mentoring at Southern Methodist Universities. I lead a CXO program where we are training the global chief officers, to become better chief officers. So as part of this, I'm building the next generation of future-ready leaders. I'm also a mentor for the same program. So you will find here locally as well-established business people who are willing to be mentors, who are willing to be guest lecturers, guest speakers. So let's band together with the industry. Let's band together for, internships, for small projects. All of this is possible. And then as we are doing the guest lecturers for each of your, whether it is management, whether it is computer science, whether it is any other stuff, you can then ask them, okay, I am planning to do this, which is, say, management. How can I do that? You can start tracing those steps. The education system currently, whether it is in India or elsewhere, is not directly relatable to being career ready. And I'm sorry to say that. And I've worked in the education sector even in US for the last 14 years, as well as public and private corporate sectors. However, there is a huge gap between education and being career ready. So if you have to be assured that you will have a job tomorrow, start grinding it. Start being serious about having a plan, getting some experience, or building your own project, or building your own, whatever it is, software, your management portfolio, your business analysis portfolio, whatever it is, or your entrepreneurship products, whatever it is. The goal is to stand out. Dear students, I have great respect for the organization, St. Aloysius, that I got a chance to be here. I was also shaped by my family. I'm very honored that my mother is here with me today. Some of the values that I learned from my parents, my father, S.J. Mariyappa, who was a circle inspector, he was, he used to get posted overnight when the cities were burning. So he always took on the worst situation and the worst crisis management situations. But he told me, when I asked him, why do you have to take the most tough jobs? He said me this one day: always ask when there is a crisis, what is on the line? What is the impact, both positive and negative? And if I don't take that on, can I have that on my conscience? And that has guided me throughout in the directions that I have made. And my mom, she has been the strength of resilience by her, how she raised us. So I lost my dad when I was 13, and it was my mom who raised us. After that, went through very difficult times. But the resilience and the success and the hard work that she put has made me to who I am today, by both my parents, my dad and my mom. So, Mommy, thank you so much. Thank you so much for, making me who I am today. The reason I'm sharing that is, I want you to go back and see who is that people in your life. It may be your parents. It can be your mentors. It can be your, people who have helped you. Thank them. And you have no idea how difficult it is to have somebody always root for you. So thank them and make sure that you are there to be able to be supporting them and have a great plan. While I was here at St. Aloysius, I also was mentored and I was provided scholarship by Sir M.P. Jayarama that Father Prashant introduced me to. He's been a great mentor throughout my life, and his support really helped me who I am today. So again, a huge thank you to M.P. Jayarama for changing my life. And Father Prashant, thank you so much for changing my life. And to all the students here, I wish you great success. I wish you great, joy and a career and life ahead. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to take now. If you have any questions, raise your hands, and I think the gentleman will get it to you.
Good evening, ma'am. Myself Rakesh for final year BBA, and my question is, in the field of consultancy, what is the future of it? Like, someone wants to get into consultancy, what do you tell? There's so much of competition already. Can we get into it? How can we make a career in consultancy?
Yes, consultancy in management consulting?
Yes.
Okay. So, first of all, when you are called on as a consultant, you're called on for your expertise, which means you have to build your expertise first. And if you do not have an expertise, then you are not going to be a consultant. What does that mean? Suppose, say, in management, you start off as your business analyst, right? Or a system analyst in technology. Once you do your business analyst role, you'll come to know, okay, how do the markets move? How do the customers' landscape is changing? So in your own area, if it is, let's just pick a area. What area are you specializing in? Finance. Okay, so let's take finance. So how is the banking sector moving? How are the stocks moving? How are the Fortune 500 companies faring? Is there a recession? Is there not a recession? How, for the last 5 years, where is the business going? Where is the customers' buying trend going? Where is the financial capability spectrum going? All that is business analysis, right? So you build a good, solid knowledge of that industry, of that domain. And then once you build that good knowledge, you're now a consultant. And people will call on you to advise them on how they have to take their company ahead. There is a very good opportunity of consulting. However, you have to keep on upskilling yourself because every day things are changing. And you also have to have a qualification. You need to be certified in your area line of work. I am a chief information officer, but I'm also a certified chief information officer. So whatever you try to do, have a certificate or have a valid qualification to say, yes, here is the seal, and this is why I am good, right? Then show your experience, and then show your work. Anything that you do, you got to do this. And in consulting, it can be global, it can be on national level. Finance, sector, again, you can be a CPA-related finance, or you can be a business finance-related consultant. So sky's the limit if you are willing to grind it. Thank you so much. It was an honor to meet you all, and it was great being with you today. Good luck and all the best.